Do you want to sit up here while I sit down there? Yes. I think you'd be more comfortable up here. Okay. I just started. Hey, mate. Nothing much. Switching chairs with the girlfriend, so she is in a more comfortable position.
Is this plugged in behind or is this connected? I'm not going in chat today.
Okay. I don't know what I'm doing today. I haven't fully decided yet. Like, there's a couple of different things that I could do, but I don't know exactly what I want to do. Like, I've had an itch for a while now to get really sweaty and do something like super comp. His name is a little difficult to say. He is foreign to us, but he does the Quicksilver industry stuff, and he has like a couple new ones out since the last time I checked. But neither of those has like spoken to me in terms of things like build. Hey, this needs to stop. Welcome to chat. Like I said, he's built like all sorts of different models. How do you like the brand new Rainbow Six Siege update? I can't really talk about Fortnite because I don't play Fortnite. I don't like Battle Royale games, but I've been playing a little bit of the new Rainbow Six update. For some reason, I lag really, really bad though, so I haven't been playing like an overly amount of it. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna go back to LDD. And then I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I should have went before I started, but I didn't because I don't know.
You have no logic.
Shh.
That's all you're getting today.
Blitz is scary, and the only reason Blitz is scary is because Finka is a thing. The second Finka dies, you don't have to really worry about Blitz. I think overall the meta is in just a very interesting spot right now because it kind of just comes down to whoever you get to kill first. So if you can spawn peek like a Finka or a Lion, you immediately go back to the old meta. So the faster you kill someone else, the better. Hey, Jim. But he's only a 2-speed. Zofia is a 2-speed. Lion is a 2-speed. Finka's a 2-speed. Even Dokubi's a 2-speed, and she looks like she'd be a 1-speed. I'm not really too concerned about his speed all too much. And this would also make it good for operators who don't have, like operators who lost the, um, who don't have impact grenades, operators who don't have um, C4 or anything like that. Like those operators are going to get less picked, and now the operators that do that beforehand might not have been picked as much are going to get picked more. And I think that's good for like kind of changing the overall meta, like making older characters relevant again in the newer meta. It's kind of weird. It depends. If you're using your ears, he shouldn't be able to sneak up on you all too well. Um, he's pretty loud. I'd buff Capcan again. I didn't agree with the most recent buff of Capcan and the whole thing where they buffed him so that he had I think one more of the EDD, but it didn't down someone. I think with him they should update it so that it puts someone in down but not out state, just like a frost trap. Um, because if you're like frost traps don't kill you, but they don't just injure you either. They put you in a down but not out state that you can't move from. I would do the same thing with Capcan. Yeah, some of them do. That's for sure. I'm just glad that a lot of them actually like follow basic gun design to a certain extent that I like actually makes sense and could work in real life, because that makes things like so much easier. I still have, let me see if I can find it. It's down here somewhere. This is like towards the very beginning of what he was working on. Still looking for it. Like I said, it's down here somewhere. There we go. I still have this on like the back burner because wait, no, it wasn't this. Was it? No, it was this one. I still have this on the back burner for things that need to be like built and finished and just haven't gotten around to doing. So yes, I could do this, but at the same time, like, I don't feel like it type thing. You need like 2 to down people, and it should have it as where you can see the EDD. I don't think they should be able to see the EDD, simply because Capcan was like almost entirely useless if you could see the EDDs, because if you have any form of like a vigilant operator like at all, those EDDs were just absolutely useless. Like there was really no point in having them. Just like frost traps, if you know where the frost trap is, you're just gonna shoot it, and the second you shoot it, it's no longer helpful. Yeah, there's a lot going on, right? I think overall, Finka and Lion are probably going to get nerfed mid-season reinforcements, if not sooner. Um, Lion's only going to have 2 drone scans, if not just 1. Finka's going to get nerfed so that she can only stem 2, if not 1 as well. Oh, like Capcan. Okay, so you're talking about like a Legion trap, basically, where an icon would be on screen, and then if it exploded, that icon would disappear, and then you would know that's where someone's coming from. Okay, I got you. I see. This is his most recent gun that he did, which is like really, really cool. The problem is, I don't want to do that. Like, So the next like step would be Rainbow Six Siege French operators and their guns, because I just finished, as you can see on screen on this tab, I just finished the LFP586 last stream, so we can figure out what's going on with finishing it. Okay, so they have the, I already said hi to you. This needs to stop. Okay. Yeah, it was a bullpup anti-material rifle, AMR. That's what AMR stands for. The same thing that the Barrett M82 is. So large caliber. It's not necessarily used on people. They use it on people, but it's more or less for shooting through like armored cars that are lightly armored and things like that. I thought the same thing. I also thought that no one was going to use Ella because of like how trash she could be considered. Now with the most recent like nerf to her, but I've seen Ella still picked fairly often. It's kind of scary how often she's been picked. Even I picked her today with her shotgun, and I was doing fine. I was kind of doing it as like a troll to see if she was still viable, and even with her shotgun and the fact that she's a three speed, you can still just blast through people in moments, and that's kind of what's up. They did nerf the hell out of her, but she's still viable. She still has her 3-speed, she still has her shotgun, which wasn't nerfed at all. Her gun itself is still decent as long as you're actually trying to aim. You can't just spray and pray. You have to really aim and then burst fire. Minotaurism, you're not wrong. AMRs can be used to shoot pilots and tanks. It just you gotta really have good aim. If you're shooting through like viewports and things like that, you're probably gonna hit someone and drop them. So damage has been decreased, recoil increased is right, but the entire game is centered around this idea of one-shot headshots and dying almost instantly if you get those headshots. So if you come around a corner and your reticle is placed at head height and you just pull the trigger and you know someone's there, you've already basically won that fight. And that's how like amazing I see her being, is because she can do that. I'm not going to do it in a video. I gave you a shout out in this live stream, which gets uploaded to the channel as a video afterwards. So take it or leave, man. I didn't see anything about Glass getting nerfed. But it's definitely possible. It might have been one of those shadow things that they just do like kind of behind the scenes. But as far as I know, he hasn't gotten nerfed. Wow, that's an issue. Oh. You mean you think Glaz was a god before? Yeah, Glaz before was a god. It used to be, his sniper rifle used to be one shot. And then they nerfed it because it was redonkulous, because the whole point of Glaz is that you'd be outside of the map and you would be shooting in, getting headshots through like different windows and stuff, using his thermal sight. And then what happened is people would go inside where the one-shot range was like really redonkulous, and now you would just pull the trigger and people would die before they had any time to react to you, and it was in the torso area, not even the head. And that's a problem because they need at least some time to react to you unless you can hit them in the face, to which, yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, that's Lion's new gun. The MP5, yeah, it's go find the 417. There's the 416. Where beeth the 417? There it is. Just first version should be done. That works, but it only works if the enemy team is on part of the map where that has windows, because if they aren't, he's completely useless. And I don't play ranked anymore, or I play ranked, so I don't get the opportunity to do stuff like that because it's not in ranked. Plane isn't in ranked. President plane, whatever it's called, isn't in ranked. So because it's not in ranked, I don't have the opportunity to do that. What else? Yeah, P90, MP5. I should have like a base version of the MP5 now. It might be, yes, it's out here. I never used Pulse. I could never get into using Pulse. And Pulse is only OP if you're communicating with your team, because if you're not communicating with your team and you're not telling them where you're picking up people's heartbeats and things like that, you're just gonna die before you can get any like kills or anything. So but I think shotguns got a nerf too. His shotgun to me isn't like something that I can just aim down sights, pull the trigger once, and then win. I have to like really rush at them as fast as I can to try and drop them before they can drop me. Alright. FAMAS, P5, P90, Shotgun 417, LFP, Extendable Shield, Ballistic Shield. I don't want either. Why is Ballistic Shield considered a weapon? Have I ever been in a 1v4, 1v5 clutch situation? All the time. Have I ever done it? No. I'm horrible at the game. I'm a platinum player on my best of days. I was a platinum player in Season 2 ranked, and I'm currently getting ranked for Season 3. But yeah, no, not... I've never been able to clutch or at ace or anything like that. Okay, so... yeah, Doc and Montaigne are French, man. I think it's interesting that a lot of like the French operators end up being 3-speed, or I'm sorry, not 3-speed. That'd be interesting. 3 armor, 1 speed. Because Doc, Montaigne, and Rook are all 3 armor, 1 speed, and then you have Twitch, who's 2 speed, 2 armor. So, wait, is Twitch 2 speed, 2 armor? She might be 1 or 3 speed. No, she can't be 3 speed. Yeah, 2 speed, 2 armor. That's what I thought. Okay. File, save as, GIGN, which is French. Load out. Incomplete underscore WIP version 1.
SKA is reggae mixed with jazz.
Oh, interesting. Magic Blitz with 3 speed and 3 armor. That'll never happen. They've been pretty, I think they've been pretty adamant about that never happening. So, okay, let's where beeth the other pistol, the P9? The other thing that I'm bad at making. Rainbow Six Siege P9. Is modeled after F and P9. Okay, that makes sense. F and P9. All right. That already becomes like super intimidating to make. Stock's pistol, I think. Weird. Yeah, I can't just. Yeah, this is annoying. Google did that stupid new thing where they can't, you can't just, like, look at this image. You have to actually, like, visit the page. That's really annoying. What is this? That's the brown ink. So if I click on it, it takes me immediately to the web page. And then that happens. Which sucks. Because I would like to view this. And I can't zoom in any more than that. Great. FNP9. Let's go to Wikipedia, figure out how long it is. Wikipedia.
Yeah. Yes.
188 millimeters. Length of a Lego 2x4. 8 is one stud. So if we do 188 divided by 8, 188-8, 23.5. So we'll make it 24 studs long, which is 2 10s and a 4. And that's just slightly bigger than what it should be. Does it give me... Barrel length is 102 mm. 102, and put that over 8. Wow. So 13 of those is how long the barrel is. So that's the barrel length. I do have an Instagram. I just don't use it. Like ever. Ooh, they even give us a height. I don't know it. There you go, Blue Jay the Meister. 17.125. So for height, because there's actually one here, which is great, we can do 18 studs.
Oh, I know, it's Blue Jay Boots.
Oh,
I'll put it in the chat.
Uh, not really, because I don't know how to do that, to be honest. And that's 8? What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, here's the height. 17 studs. So we'll make this a 6. Make this a 1. And then we'll make it a 10. And that is how tall the gun is. Width is 39 mm. 39 over 8, which is like 4 point, yeah. Wow, that's almost, ooh. That's not good. That means it is 4 studs wide, and then like that much off to the side. Oh man, that is interesting. How do I figure these numbers? Okay, well, it's actually a lot more simple than what it is. Usually Wikipedia has all these measurements here. So if the P9 in-game is modeled after the F and FNP 9, then if you take a look at it, you have a length box here, so that's how long it is. It's going to say 7.4 inches, 188 millimeters, FNP 9. While this is in standard, what you really want to use is metric. So if we have 188 millimeters, and then we do a quick Google search for length of a Lego 2x4, the first result that I've always gotten anyhow is going to say the smallest brick, which is the one stud 1x1, is then 8 millimeter and 8 millimeter, but only this much and this much. I'm not really concerned about these two. This is like the whole actually kind of measuring thing. This is the approximate. I use the approximate just to make things easier, because if you were to divide things by this, you'd get into some pretty complex decimals. So I use this one. So if a 1x1 is then 8 millimeters by 8 millimeters in these two directions, then it's simply dividing this number in parentheses, the 188 millimeter. So divide 188 millimeters by 8, and you'll get the amount of studs it is. Divide for barrel length, if you divide 102 millimeters by 8, you'll get the amount of studs that the barrel is. For the width, divide 39 by 8, and you'll get the studs and width, which is how we got the whole like 4.8. And then for height, if we do 137 divided by 8, that's how many studs you get. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but now you have the whole like shebang of all the measurements. Yeah, no, I personally like it's easier when your units are already in the same unit that you divided by, because why convert when you just use the same ones you're divided by. So the barrel length is this. This is how long the overall gun is. The grip goes down this far, and then the actual width of the gun is just somewhere about like this. Just about. That's pretty much it. So, you need ears and a tail.
That sounds weird without context.
Yeah, that's not my problem. That's your problem now. Okay, so we can design a barrel first. It's pretty easy to design a barrel. It just comes down to using the right pieces. I'm already subbed to you, man. Can't really do that if I'm already subbed to you. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so usually, like, the only piece that we could use for, like, the whole open of the chamber thing is, like, a barrel, but that has to be turned like this. So where's the barrel piece even at? Is it in here? Find that. Okay, so we'll move this one step forward. Put this here. Grab this and put it here. And then that goes there. And then that'll be like the whole, like, where the bullet actually enters the chamber. Which is just a cool little kind of trick almost. And then the actual barrel itself would be easy. I probably did. So we keep on going on out. Like so. And then just do these. And then that's the whole of the barrel. How long have I been doing this? YouTube or gun building? Because the answer is a lot for whichever one you choose. So, choose wisely. Okay, how am I going to do this? This is going to be complex, but should be somewhat fun. Okay, so I've been doing gun building a pretty long time. Like when I was a kid growing up, we used to go play with Lego guns in the yard. It was all like really, really basic designs for Lego guns, but it's what we kind of like found fun. And you'd play like Cops and Robbers or Army Men or something like that. Like I said, it's like all really basic, but it was fun. It's what we did, and it easily passed the time. That being said, they weren't ever really good back then, and it took me, like, I just jumped on YouTube one day, and I think I just randomly searched for it, and that's where I kind of like realized that you could really do this for a lot. What's my inspiration for doing gun building on YouTube? Simple answer, my different username. I could easily take a look at my different usernames, guns, and say, oh, I want to do that, but better. And then continue doing that. That being said, though, like, you have to really try to actually be better. You can't just sit here and not do that. That makes any sense. Okay, I'm trying too hard. We can do this first. That would be better. And then having something like this down there would be perfectly fine. So yeah, like my different username, like seeing some of what he's built is cool and like inspirational. So yeah, M done helped me for a little while. Me and him actually, the interesting part is me and him haven't seen eye to eye on some things. I actually like there was one stream that I had where I was bashing him for a lot of the stream, and he was actually there. Or rewatched one of the streams, like the archive on my channel, and he actually confronted me about it later, which was interesting. Because I basically said a lot of things about him that I didn't know if they were true or not, and he wanted to clear the record because a lot, like I said, a lot of it was unfounded. What did I do? Unfounded when I said it. So wait, if I just leave those and drag this up, we're fine. Okay, so this goes here, this goes here, and this goes here. That should give us, hopefully, the... What the hell? Yes. 4 stud wide and a little bit more on the sides. I've done a couple guns in real life, actually. I just looked up at it. I have the SMG-11 sitting up top. No, don't grab it. It's fine. Sitting up on one of my shelves with all my other Lego guns that I've built in real life. The P90, the actual P90 that I have sitting on the other screen, the other file, that I'll be kind of remaking in a sense for this, is sitting up there on the shelf. My MP7 is over there as well. My original SV98, a lot of M4 PDWs, my Maneba M9, VBR PDW, my PDW 57, my extended barrel Desert Eagle, my Glock 18, Snuggles Beretta 23R, a Spectre M4 that I did from Black Ops 1. There's an MP5 up there. That one was built using in real life specifications though. And my PP90 M1 is up there as well. Oh, my Scar PDW and Scar H I've also built in real life. Hey, Corey. That's my girlfriend. She was at the beginning of the stream. Yeah, there's a lot. Hi, Corey. Hi, Connor. Because I didn't say it before. I think I did, though. Yeah, I have a lot of things just kind of sitting around. A lot of them aren't, like, good, though, in a sense. Like, a lot of them aren't as detailed as my LDD models, because like him done said in his stream tonight, I was actually in his stream, watching him for a little bit. A lot of building becomes complicated simply because, what? Okay, I see it. Like if you build something on LDD, it doesn't necessarily transfer over well to real life and being able to get all the parts for it. Like already I'm using these parts here and then a lot of these bracket pieces, so a lot of this would be like really hard to find in real life and actually like get pieced together to work. So Corey C, sorry to hear that, man. That's rough. Sorry to hear that, man. The barrels stick out just like a little extra bit. And then this down here can stick out. No, no, that can't. That's probably not the best of ideas to do, dude. Corey, if you actually look it up, this has like been a big story. This actually just, it was like one of the most recent news stories. But he didn't bring it to school. He literally just posted it on Instagram. And let me see if the photo is here or not. I don't think the photo is here, but he posted, he actually reposted a picture of someone in the community who builds. Oh, here's the photo. So he reposted this video to Instagram and said don't come to school because, of course, that became a meme after the whole school shooting thing. And the cops actually arrested him for it. So I would, even if it was like a crappy thing, it was probably not the best of ideas to bring it to school. Just saying, my man. I understand it was a long time ago. You can't change what you've done, but for future reference, don't do that, because it's not good. Okay, I appreciate it. So let's we'll change these around to make them 6s, so that they kind of fit between the two.
Oh god, the video's on?
Yeah. I fixed it. Yeah, Corey, like I said, that's not the best of ideas in the current political atmosphere. But yeah, this was, like I said, obviously a while ago. So yeah, not something that I would do now, though. That's for sure. Let's we're gonna change how this chamber works. We're actually gonna use these parts here. Because this part of the chamber is actually this, so. I don't necessarily think, it was like, it was for a project, like you said, but could you imagine, like, showing up to school with something like that and then getting, like, shot in the face because someone thought you had a gun, even if it was a toy gun? Like, we've seen it before with, a BB gun, someone has just gotten shot because of it, and there's really no reason for it to happen. But in the current atmosphere, it's probably not a good idea.
As without permission. Because if you have permission and it's like planned, it's different.
My girlfriend makes the point that with permission it would be different, and she's right, but you'd have to go to the right people. I know someone from my high school who actually came dressed in full combat uniform with like all his mag pouches and stuff on, but he had to go find approval in order to do that, obviously.
I had a friend that wore a mask, like it was an Excalibur cosplay, and you had to get permission to wear the cosplay.
No, I cannot build this gun in real life. This gun is already, I can already tell that this gun is like really expensive. There's like all these parts that I'm using right here, these right here, they're relatively new. I don't think a lot of them are actually available in the way that I'm using them, in the sense like the actual parts. I don't think some of them are available. Connor, I'm going to try to explain this to you, and I want you to bear with me, because obviously it is different from you in Australia. Oh, what am I doing? The chamber is like way up here. There's a lot of people who own guns in America. To simply go through and, logistically speaking, get rid of everything, just literally get rid of everything, it's not going to happen. I'd also like to add in there's a lot of people out there that are a lot more radical about this than what a rational person would be. Hey Luke, it has been a while, man. I'm glad you're back. There are people in this country who will die to keep their guns, and they will fight like just a straight up war with the government over it, and it would basically just be this huge civil war mess going on, and it's something that I think a lot of people are trying to avoid, because civil war is never a good thing. Hey Killer Panda, it'd be great for people. Take, like, for instance, China Russia, if we were in a full-blown civil war and they were going to invade, that would be the time that they would invade. And my girlfriend's right again. If we do get into a civil war, it would probably start World War III. So because of that, I think that's the reason why nothing is currently being done in that sense. I will also add that a lot of it comes down to money, literally just money. If I'm a politician and I'm in office right now, and you call and you say you're not going to vote for me again, if I enact any gun legislation, I'm probably not going to enact any guns legislation because I want the money of my job. So, if you also take a look into like statistics and everything like that, you might actually find out that sometimes enacting gun laws doesn't work the way that you want it to. For instance, if you look at the 19, you take a look at the 1994 assault weapons ban, in order for that ban to go into effect, it also called for a study to be done about whether or not it actually cut down on the violent crime with weapons. And when they finished the study, it actually turned out that it didn't. And that was a ban on things that constituted an assault weapon and things like that. So it's just there's a lot of politics and things that are going on right now. If you have a gun, never rack one in the chamber with a shotgun, pistol, AR for a few reasons. I'm a firm believer in having one in the chamber with the hammer down. Like here, I'll grab my my home defense weapon. This is my current home defense weapon. It's literally just it's an airsoft 1911. But safety's on, hammer's down. There's one in the chamber, and the magazine is full and has CO2 topped off. Like it's pretty good. See, like I said. So now I just launched one into the bed, and it bounced off the ground. But there's already one in the chamber, and it was ready to go. All I had to do was cock the hammer, and then open up the valve and things like that. So there's a lot going on. This is how I have everything going on. So this is how I like to carry, and how I would carry in real life personally. But not everyone wants to carry like that. What do you think about the current state of relation with Russia and North Korea? I think there's a fine balance between the two. There's like a lot going on, right? So I'm trying to find like the way to say it. No, I don't want your help. I don't want your help.
That's what I made you.
I don't care. It's my stream. So like, let's consider, is there a way for all of these countries to kind of come together and find a way for peace, right? Possibly. Some people, maybe not. Other people, maybe. You also have to consider that there are people out there who are playing both sides. So what I mean by that is you have someone who might say, well, I like this. And then when it comes down to it, they're going to all of a sudden reveal, well, I was really playing for this person all along. And then you're in trouble. Because then, obviously, hey, Gearcraft Gaming. Blah, 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 blah. Hold on. Let me finish what I was saying about the relationship between Russia and North Korea. No, racking one in the chamber is not going to scare someone off. Having one already in the chamber and then pulling the hammer and blasting them in the face is definitely going to scare them off. So do that first. Russia is stacking the cards in the deck. Hold on. I have a way to explain this. With visual aids. Move your foot, please, and or hold it.
I will hold it. Are you using the exploding kittens?
Yeah, I'm going to use exploding kittens.
Use the safe for work bit.
I am. Let me see this. All right. All right. Yeah. So, if you think about it, right, the whole world is playing a game of exploding kittens right now. There's one of these exploding kittens somewhere in the deck, and the second someone draws this, the whole world is going to fall apart in this massive like war between one another. So everyone is trying to stack the deck in their favor so that every card they have in their hand is going to help them when someone finally draws this card. So if you think about it, Russia... I don't think there's any diffusers. I think all the diffusers are over there.
No, it's over there.
Let's see. See? Get them out. Yeah. Russia is trying to get a whole bunch of nopes so that whenever someone plays down an attack card on them, they can say no and skip past it. They're trying to stack their hand with a whole bunch of attack cards so that they can pass their turn to someone else and make them draw the exploding kitten. And they're going to continue this trend by getting all these good cards, right? Until they finally get a whole like hand. Like imagine, all right, if you're playing exploding kittens and the other person has only one card, but you have this whole deck of cards to play to your advantage, you're going to have this huge gain on them so that when the other person finally draws the exploding kitten, the world is on your side. And when you go into World War III, you have a lot more allies. So if you're playing exploding kittens, the easiest thing you do is to get a whole alliance of people to gang up on one other person. And that's kind of what's going on with Russia and North Korea. If your common enemy is America, you can stack your alliances with other players so that your whole hands put together look something more like this instead of something that looks more like a whole bunch of exploding kittens. So that's an easy way to look at it using visual aids. Also, in case you guys have never heard of it, this is a fantastic game that I recommend playing. This is a party game. It's called Exploding Kittens. It's one of the greatest Kickstarter backed projects ever. All that goes in one, all that goes in the other one. It literally takes 5 minutes to learn and then has endless play opportunities. It's a fantastic game. It's not being Russia has 7,000 plus nukes. USA has 6,000 plus nukes. North Korea has less than 20 nukes. I wouldn't be afraid. I wouldn't be afraid either. The problem is what I just explained. If your alliances while you're playing this game is 3 against 1, you're looking at combined arms at that point. On top of that, no one's ever thrown China out just yet. My girlfriend has been this entire time, but if you add China into this equation, you're changing up the whole scheme of what's going on. There's no longer just one thing. Like I said, there's a lot more going on the second China gets involved. America is allies with almost every country in the world, and there are 196 countries. Ask yourself something very critical here. Would every single one of those countries go to war for you? Would all those countries fight for you in World War III? Would those countries even consider the possibility of fighting for you in World War III? Because if even a single one of those countries says no, that's power you've now lost, and that's power that the other side might gain. You can kind of think about this from a Star Wars perspective too. The more the more worlds that joined the Separatist alliance is the more power that the Republic lost. And that's where like this whole idea comes in about um, getting allies and then making sure that they're loyal to you. Because on top of that, you could also have people who say that they're loyal to you, but the second the world starts to fall apart, all of a sudden, I don't want to be anywhere near you. I don't want to be an ally with you.
At this point, all our allies are very shitty. Especially our biggest ones like Germany and Japan. But we have UK, so the United Kingdom pretty much is.
Connor, you're looking for the GIGN operators, so the French ones. They're the ones that use this. This is the P9. This is one of their sidearms. I'll just leave that piece. But you'd be surprised how quick people are to turn, right? Like, okay, so I don't know if you actually have a job or not. I don't know how old you are or things like that, but you don't have to actually tell me. I have a job working in the childcare industry, and oftentimes, some of the people in my division actually get called away to go work in a completely different division and help them out, right? But that relationship isn't always reciprocated between the two of us, right? Because sometimes I ask for help from the other division and I don't get that help. I get a stuck-up response and basically a screw you, because those people don't actually want to help me. I can provide as much aid as I want to other people, but in the time of need, are they actually going to be there to provide it? Because if they're not, then it's a one-sided relationship, and I'm going to nuke you when the actual war happens, because we're no longer friends. So, like I said, there's a lot going on with this. This needs to get figured out.
Too that there's cases where America went to help a nation, but instead we helped them on papers and by certain aspects of things, but then we either left them high and dry or we exploited them. This, of course, didn't happen with all of the people we helped, but it has happened in quite a few case scenarios.
Yeah, front side. I'll get that, Corey.
And there's even some countries that are now our enemies that were our allies because the people we put in power exploited the actual people that had the nation, and we just let them continue to take advantage of them. So if they're with World War II, China's Communist Party was able to take control after China's Democratic Party pretty much won the war, because they were going through a civil war while World War II was happening. So it's kind of like that. I don't know how to explain it. I lost my train of thought. Does that make sense? Do you see where I'm going with this? No?
I wasn't listening.
You weren't listening?
No. I was focused on actually building this. Actually getting some progress.
But there's also the risk of that, because a lot of the people that were considered bad slipped through the cracks. Because we were allies with the communist China also. And we were on their side in World War II. But at the end of the day, we kind of have a lot of situations where we let the bad guys slip through the cracks and we're still kind of on their side. Because I'm pretty sure it happened in quite a few countries that we helped. And now they're in shambles.
I got you, Connor. I was also thinking the same thing as I was going on through that. I was actually going to use bow slopes, and then I kind of took a look at it, and to put bow slopes would increase this by 2 whole plates instead of just 1. And I don't want to do that. I just want to do 1 plate. So.
In East Asia, Korea's always gotten the short end of the stick.
Rear sight. Rear sight. If you look at the other statistics, our armament is nothing. If you really want to think about it, we are, in terms of being prepared for a whole world war, I don't think we're going to make it, my friend. statistics are true, right? We have the best military, best navy, and we are the top 3 for Air Force, and we are the second best for nukes. Okay, nukes isn't everything in war. Your Air Force only matters if you can actually get airplanes into the war zone that you're fighting for, which is kind of the reason why the air war in Vietnam was such a huge thing. And even then, we couldn't see what we were dropping bombs on, which is why we initiated the carpet bombing campaign with B-52s and a shit ton of napalm. And then if you think about it, your Navy's only good if there's water. Because if we're fighting an inland war, aka we're fighting Russia, North Korea, we're not going to be able to use our Navy to its fullest extent. We'd be able to use aircraft carriers to launch strike force missions, but we're not using our submarines like we should be to actually sink enemy warships. We'd only be able to use them for missile launches. And then we wouldn't be using our destroyers, our battleships, our cruisers, or anything like that because we're nowhere near where the actual target is. So you need to keep that in mind going with everything. Just because statistics say something, it's not necessarily the truth. Also keep in mind that some of the weapons that we're using are outdated. They're ages old. You can look at the technology that the U.S. has developed all you want, but we still... Right, okay. Corey, great idea. We should hire you for the U.S. military right now. I think you would make an excellent advisor.
Honestly, amphibious vehicles, I think, would really change.
If you look at the technology the U.S. has developed, and then you look at how much it costs, you'll see the difference. Because the same thing happens with the Russian military. If you look at all the guns that Russia has developed that are far superior to any of ours, and then you actually look at the cost of research and development for each of them, you can see why none of them have actually been used. ASVAL, it's suppressed, it uses a different caliber that just punches through body arm, and it can easily be converted into the VSS Ventores, right? Both of those weapons are limited use in Russia right now because they cost lots to make. AN-94 has 1,800 hyperburst fire where it puts 2 rounds on top of one another, which could make punching through body armor super easy. Super expensive, and on top of that, they don't have the R&D to further that project to make it reliable. So they can't do that. Then we take a look at the PP-19 Boson. We take a look at the PP-90M1 using helical magazines and 9x19 Makarov, which is already known to be lethal in pretty close proximity through body armor, not even on the outside of body armor, but through it, because 9x19 plus P punches through some pretty thick body armor. You get through all these different weapons that Russia has, but they can't actually field simply because of the expense. And that's where we get into some of the more convoluted things. So we supposedly, right, we have these laser weapons that can shoot missiles out of the sky, but we can't make a whole bunch of them because they're super expensive. We're in trouble. If we
don't have to worry about that, right?
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the jumper plates. I was actually kind of considering using these because it has these the newer style things on the bottom, so that it does this. So it'd be just a little bit out, but not a whole bunch. Probably. The 4-stud wide version, it's going to be, I'm just going to grab a 4-stud wide piece. It'll be at the very end of the top of the slide. So this portion right through here. Okay, so your point is made, right? North Korea won't break one of the laws of war, right? That's quite possible. They could. And if they do, are we as a nation prepared to do the same thing in return? to win, essentially. And if we aren't, what advantage do we gain by sticking to the laws of war?
Most countries don't install
yeah, I actually really like Titanfall too. Smart Store, Hammond P2016 RE45. I'm a huge fan of RE45. When I played the game, the RE45 was the only secondary that I actually ran. I wasn't really too big on the whole anti-Titan thing. We supposedly have a railgun in the Navy because I've never seen this thing in use. I've never seen it in widespread use. I've seen it on one ship, possibly. And even then, if you think about it, this could possibly be one of those moments where we kind of fluff up our own military to intimidate other people. Because this is something that North Korea actually actively does all the time. In North Korean marches and things, if you actually look at like the equipment that the North Koreans are using, some of them actually don't work conventionally like you would expect. I believe some of their guns like have like kind of grenade launcher looking things on the bottom of them, but they're not going to work as we expect them to, and because of that, you can kind of tell that they are basically just, they're there for show intimidation as opposed to actually being used. Propaganda. I think there's an E in the O. But don't worry about it, Corey, because I spell things wrong all the time. I haven't seen the railgun testing. If you guys have like a link to that video or something, that'd be great. And then throw like a source in there on top of that, that'd be great. Yes. I don't know what I'm doing for this backside. I don't know why I just make it not like a standard backside and just leave it at that, man. Right. But again, think about it like this. If you are a small country up against a larger country, how much of those rules of war are you actually going to follow? Because like you already said, if they don't follow that, what you're not, it doesn't help, right? Just, it's like making a background check for a law-abiding citizen, because criminals, when they buy guns illegally off the black market, already don't go through a background check. So who are you actually hurting in turn? I've seen Hacksmith. I actually really like Hacksmith's channel. Now then, take Hacksmith's and you see the amount of energy needed to do it, right? Amp that up even larger for the scale of warships that we'd have to be using to like destroy other people's warships and things like that. And add how much batteries and energy and stuff that you would need for that. But okay, but you can't just annihilate an entire country, because if you annihilate the entire country, you yourself are not following the war code. And if you yourself aren't following the war code, people don't forget that, right? Then you end up with like a Nuremberg trial situation where even after the war is already over, you still go to trial for violating war crimes. So if we just annihilate a whole country and then the war is over, everyone else is kind of going to look at us and just be like, yeah, now we're going to put all of the leaders who made the decision to annihilate that whole country on trial for war crimes. Why is this connected to one another? That shouldn't be connected. What? Oh, I used the wrong tool, that's why. Silly me. You're right. We might. We might just do what we did with World War II and just drop a whole shit ton of bombs on them. But it'd be a horrible idea. I don't think it's something that we should even remotely consider doing. What? Oh, gotcha. Right. Gearcraft, you make an amazing point as well. Personally, I know that, like if you look at some of the development of our, I forget the name, the stealth fighters, right? The government's had that technology for a long time now. They just never released in public that they had it. It was something that they kept in secret. Because if you kept it in secret, it was much more powerful as a tool, because no one else knew you had it. And if no one else knew you had it, it was a surprise, and you turned the tides of war if someone ever attacked you. Why is... I'm clicking on this one specific piece. Can we... If I drag this in here and kind of plant that in, can I do this now? No. Okay, well, that sucks. Japan sent exploding balloons, which is correct. It took forever, and it wasn't effective, like, at all, in terms of, like, actual damage. I think only one fell in America itself, and I think even then it was, like, a dud. So, that was great. There was a plan from Japan to send fleas and ticks infected with the deadly virus on September 1945, but the U.S. stopped them before the biological attack. Do you even know how much damage could have been done? It's possible, but it's not possible. We also have the Center for Disease Control in Atlanta, and even though I read Corey's comment, it just threw me off. Even though that could have happened, is it something that we already had a cure for and that we haven't released we have a cure for because, again, we keep things secret, or is it something that would have straight up murdered us? North Korea could try that. You're right. We'll see. Corey, thanks for correcting me. I'm glad that other people are bigger historian buffs than I am, because boy, did I forget. A virus, it can never be 100% fatal because there will always be a cure to something like that. It's not. It's literally just not possible for a virus to be 100% fatal. I don't. I'm just not seeing it. Like influenza. Duly noted, Corey. That'd be deadly. It'd be pretty massive.
Swine flu 2.0. Swine flu on roads. Why was it called? Do you know? Honestly, if he got killed, that would start.
Dude, Titanfall in real life would be so fun. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm just waiting for the day that VR becomes like over the top, super amazing, so that you could do like really cool things inside of it. Like, you could legit have like a room in your house that's just like a sphere or something, and like you would have your goggles on, you'd have your hand controllers, and then you would be able to run inside the sphere, and it would move so that you would have like infinite. Think of like the holodeck from Star Trek. That'd be awesome. It'd be like slightly terrifying though. 'Cause, like, could you imagine fighting that war, just getting stomped on by a big ass Titan? Like, damn, that would suck.
I mean, according to anime, that's the future. Anime hasn't led me so far.
She's touching me sexually. Please. It's an unwanted touch.
I'm sorry.
It's not. Oh, that sucks. Connor. Twitter? I will check Twitter. So, post it there, my man. And like tweet me or something, or do whatever you have to do. Because I don't really know how to use Twitter, I'll be honest. But do what you got to do, and I will
show you the messages.
check it. If we weaponize cancer, there's a bigger problem than.
Oh god. What's that one?
Like, there's like a way bigger problem if we weaponize cancer. I'd be more worried about, like, shit, like, what are we doing at that point? We spent all this time looking for a damn cure, and all we actually did was weaponize that bitch? Like, shit. That's rough. Okay, if you don't have a Twitter, if you got a Facebook, I do Facebook too. Instagram, like, this is one time that I might actually use Instagram. Yeah, that was a Black Ops 2 promotion. It was a really weird promotion, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Botulinum toxin type H sounds like something from Alex Jones. Like, we're starting to reach some fringe science looking stuff right now, man. Luke, I have not. I haven't seen like a lot of people's stuff. Like, I know Jim Brick entered, but I haven't seen yours. I haven't seen. Yeah, that's something like that. I don't know. Okay, I will check my phone. Give me my phone, please.
Did you just hand it to me?
Sure.
It's already on my phone?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's not helpful.
That's not helpful.
That?
Sorry, I didn't know it didn't go to you. It didn't go straight to you. I've never actually checked your messages. Oh, that's what's going on. Yeah, where's your phone?
Right there, on top of your laptop. All right, Connor. My girlfriend's giving me my phone. Oh. I brought it over. Here it is.
My messenger's been acting up. It's starting to piss me off. Oh.
I believe you still have time. I think you have till the end of this month.
You did a dance for January. You don't know when your own contest ends?
No.
Oh my god.
Gotcha, mate. I see. I will think about that. I'll probably make a whole separate version of it. So let me Let me push this off to the side so I don't forget the design. Ooh, I wonder if it goes into spam or is considered spam, and that's why I haven't been seeing them. Should check the spam folder. Plutonium toxins is 100% lethal if ingested or breathed in, and also they won't release the formula for it for a major reason. Oh, it ends April 30th? Geez, that's like 2 months from now.
Oh, you're the one that set it up.
YouTube is the only way to enter. You make a video, and that's how that works. Is that really a thing though? Because I've never heard of this. I haven't seen any news stories about this. Is that really something that I should be worried about, or is that something that someone has? Okay, so basically fake news. Is that fake news, or is that something that I should really worry about? I personally have this toxin that would release cancer into the air, and it would kill all rats. Lethal. Guaranteed. Am I saying the truth, or am I just making bullshit? You wouldn't know. Is this something that I should be concerned about? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm simply saying we should really look into whether or not this source is credible and whether or not this is a real thing. Because if it's not, then it's not something that we should even remotely worry about happening at all. Ugh, excuse me. Gotcha, Luke. I will... Where's my iPod? I just bought a brand new iPod. I don't even know what generation it was. It was just an impulse buy almost. But like, I'm using Siri so much more now. Oh, no. Okay.
I suppose not.
Shut up. Set a reminder for tomorrow to watch Luke Sultan's video at 12 o'clock.
Okay, I'll remind you.
Cool. Alright, there you go. Did he even spell your name wrong? Ooh, it almost got your name right. Sorry. It was just, it took Sultan as in like the actual like place, but or the actual like position. But yeah, so that's that. That's great. That'll help. I'm just having this hard time believing that this is an actual thing. Corey, I mean, you might not be wrong. AIDS is pretty bad. You still, it sounds so unreal though. I'm still having a hard time grasping that this is a thing. I'm just, like I said, I don't know, man. I'm not convinced that this is a thing.
Do you remember that episode of SpongeBob?
I don't.
When Squidward got seriously injured because of their stupidity.
Botulinum toxin type H.
There's no need for that.
Wow, I said Botulinum toxin type bitch. Can't make this up. Alright, let's try again. One more time and then I'll type it. Oh.
It's 9:33 p.m.
Yeah, I know what time it is. Botulinum toxin type H.
I'm not sure I understand.
Okay. Down to search it old-fashioned way. Is in Botox. Well, if it's the most toxic toxin in all of nature and it's in Botox, obviously it's not the most toxic of toxins in all of nature. I mean, obviously the compound has been released if it's in Botox, man. I'm not understanding how. Again, this sounds like something that Alex Jones has said and is just making up so people can freak out and then buy the stuff that he pushes on his store so he can make even more money. Where the hell is Safari at? I found it. I'm blind. All right, Google. Hey, Spencer. We're in a very heated debate about this this wonderful toxin right here. So let's go to Wikipedia, the most trustful source in all of internet. Oh, Nature World News has an article from October. Toxin type H, the deadliest known toxin, has been discovered in the feces of a child suffering from botulism. The toxin's DNA has not been released to the public as it has no antidote. Yes, Connor, I believe so. It's one of the most poisonous neurotoxins known to man. Injecting just 2 billionths of a gram of the substance is enough to kill an adult. Blah, 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 blah. Currently, researchers know the existence of 7 serotypes. All of them are produced by bacterium, blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Muscle paralysis. New stereotype was reported in colleagues. Okay. Yes. Obviously, it's real. I see that. Thank you for not providing a source, and thank you for making me and going doing it myself. What I'm seeing, though, is that it's a fringe case. It was in one child, and now that it was in one child, we know about it. I don't think it's something that can just be made. How did we end up on this topic? We talked about World War, Geneva Conventions, all sorts of stuff like that. Pretty simple stuff.
Yeah, that's going to quite quick in my opinion.
That goes like that. This is that. Then we just kind of work this in to the overall model. If it's found in a plant in nature, why haven't like the North Koreans picked up on it? Why hasn't China picked up on it? Why hasn't Russia picked up on it? Why hasn't America picked up on it? If it's so commonly available in a plant in nature, the toxin, the H type, as you're saying, why hasn't it already been used on us? Is my question. Spencer Williams, yes, we're working on the GIGN guns. I actually didn't know what I was going to work on before I started stream, so I kind of ended up just kind of figuring it out as I go. I decided to do the P9 because the P9 is like, all pistols are super difficult to me, so doing something like this is just, that's going to take some time. I think I can be dismissive about it because I'm 21. The average lifespan of a human, I don't even know. Let's find out. Average lifespan of a human.
The answer is 66 years.
The average lifespan of a human is 66. I've got another 45 years to go before I die. Like, it's 45 years, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, that's not a long time. I've already been alive for 21 years. I die in 45. Oh well. It just kind of, it's just one of those, my attitude has always been, I die when I die. The way I die is whatever. I personally, I don't want to bring religion into it, but I'm going to bring religion into it. I'm Christian. God has a plan for me. If God's plan involves me dying to this type of toxin age or whatever, well, it's time for me to die, man. Oh. How old is Trump?
He's like 70.
Here's what I found on the web for how old is Trump 70.
Donald Trump turned 70 June 14th, 2016, so
He's 72?
he'll be 72 this year. Thank you, Siri. Please go to sleep.
I aim to please.
Okay, that's just creepy. I won't. You're right. But it's probably not going to be the way you're telling me I'm going to. Trump's brain hasn't grown since he's 2. I mean, he has to be doing something right to be a multi billion-dollar person at this point. And on top of that, he's now president, and he like fooled all of us. That's just like.
In my personal opinion, as someone that never supported him, I think it's how confident he is in himself. I think that's what's going for him.
For someone who hasn't aged since he's 2, he's come far in life. That's the point. Like, very clearly, he has a maturity issue. But like, that's not something to dispute. But like, damn, has he come far?
Confidence gets you a long way, guys. Because you've got him supermodels. Because he's not good looking either.
And I don't know if
seem funny.
I'm gonna die from this toxin that you're typing about, man. I just, I don't know, man.
Trump is your height, but my hands might be bigger than his. You ever thought about that?
Yes.
Because I do.
It's a shame.
I didn't know you could put it in ninja mode.
Yeah.
Can you come up here?
No. I like this chair.
The one you brought it. In telephone before.
I see that.
Want some tea?
Can you make me the green tea?
We have green tea?
No, I'm sorry. The apple tea. I don't think death is a curse. I think at some point death is a godsend. Think about it, man. Do you really want to be stuck on this earth the second term Trump gets elected president? Like, you don't want to be stuck here, man. It's time to go, man.
Stop. You voted for him.
I did vote for him. That was a mistake.
Going on. One of our well, not best friends. One of our good acquaintances.
Can you make me my tea, please?
I am. I was reading it. You sound like you were enjoying yourself.
I was enjoying myself for all reasons.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
I don't think Grim Reaper really enjoys casualties. If he likes his job, because he might not like his job. No one ever asked him. Or her. No one ever asked Grim. You want apple tea? Is the honey in the room? Yes, it's in the fridge. I'm just gonna go get the water.
Hold on, Connor. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so you're talking about the slide lock and safety and the disassembly pin. Yeah, yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't dance at all either, for good reasons. I don't like to dance. I'm pretty bad at it as well. Pretty simple. Okay, yeah, that's rough. Okay, how, we'll focus on this side, and then we'll add everything as needed as we go for anything else. Spencer, back to you, man. There's nothing wrong with being atheist. I don't think there's anything defective with you or anything like that. It's not, like I said, it's not the big of a deal. Like Kenyana was saying, my girlfriend, who was just behind me, we have a friend in high school whose entire family is really, really religious, like really up on top of it. But basically, what happened is that's how he grew up. When he was old enough, he started to look through all the different books. Yeah. Hey, cool bros. He started to look through like all the different books of religion, and he started to read it for himself, and then he kind of made his own decision. He's very well versed. He's read pretty much every religious book, like the real mainstream ones. He's read pretty much every single one. And like I said, he's well versed in it. It's something that he's quite proud of, and I think I would be too, because to say like I've read every single religious book is like a really, really tough thing to do. I think the bright side of life is that this is the trials and tribulations that we go through before we go to heaven. You might not think that because you don't believe in a God, but personal belief is mine. All right. Let's tackle this other side. Connor, thanks for the picture. I'm going to use it. Because I'm down here, I can't have my Xbox on at the same time because it's up there. Corey, maybe that's the answer to life, the true meaning of life, right? Maybe the whole point is that no one of us tries to build or tries to get into a Logan Paul vlog. Maybe that's what all of this is really about, right? You ever consider that? You ever think about that? Is that what really means to be alive? To consistently avoid one person for the entirety of it because you don't want to be in their video? You already made them? Does it smell like apples?
What's wrong?
Oh, gotcha. Try to build your creation of the Atlas 45, but I didn't have that 1x4 piece that connects with those 2x1 pieces with the line connected. I don't know what piece you're talking about. It's been a long time since I've even looked at the Atlas 45, but hopefully sometime in the future you get what you need, man, and you can build it so that it works. I don't think I'd be mad either because I'd be dead. So it's not like I could get mad, right? Jokes. It's great. This area here is where the slide lock will lock in. Oh, we're thinking about that. Let's Ooh, it does smell like apple. It smells like cinnamon too.
Hibiscus. Orange peel.
Can you build an FP45 Liberator pistol? If I'm not mistaken, you're talking about the 3D printed one, right? That's the one with like the weird AR-15 grip on it. It's like super weird. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not gonna work. 7. Right, Corey, I know what you're talking about because I've seen Ian do a video on it, that weird like metal contraption thing. Ian from Forgotten Weapons. I should probably clarify and say that because that's important as well. Okay, so this slide lock. Yes, we do. You're not wrong. Let's to do this. Why you do this? Let's delete that and replace it with one of these. Okay. So for this, because it's not time to kill each other yet, so that's a pretty simple answer. So for the slide lock, it's just going to basically be that. And then this will simply rotate on up, like so, and it will block the slide from going back forward. So that is that. And then I actually have a different idea for the piece that I want to use here. I actually want to use this. See, I could, but it wouldn't matter because I don't speak North Korean or Korean. They both speak the same language. All right. So that's that. Now for fire selector, which shouldn't be on the back. Yeah, Corey, go ahead, man. What do you got? What do you got for me? Where's the picture that I was looking at? Yeah, okay, so is this one on this side? What do you want to talk about, Corey? What you got? Got any of those dank memes? So that'll be that. And then for, I mean, could, but could talk about something else. Something more fun, more invigorating, something more intense, hardcore. I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about? I don't mind either way. I just, you know. I once ate 3 Tide Pods in a single day and didn't die. How about that latest update, the Rainbow Six Siege? Lion Finka definitely broken. They'll get nerfed in no time flat. Expect mid-season reinforcements is when their first nerf will come in. Other than that, I've been having a lot of fun. I can't wait to have new defenders because I think that's something that kind of is bothersome and annoying. I have brand new attackers, but I don't have any brand new defenders, which, like I said, it's really annoying because it just comes down to like, cool, I have this, but I don't have this. Why? Finka's definitely going to get nerfed. So if you, the whole balance of Rainbow Six Siege is actually balanced around competitive and pro league, and that's why Finka's going to get nerfed. Because Finka with a well-organized team and like that type of mentality, communication is real key. That's where she'll get nerfed, guaranteed. That's the reason Castle hasn't been buffed. It's the same reason why all these other types of operators that everyone in the casual community calls on to get buffed haven't gotten buffed at all. Simply because they're actually not OP in Pro League. So why try to fix it? What is your favorite weapon in the whole Titanfall series? Man, it's been a while since I played. Any of like the car series of weapons, the weapons that look like the Vector, all of those weapons I really like. Have you ever used a special or rare Lego piece in any of your Lego creations? Yes. I used one a long time ago in a Peacekeeper model that I was working on in real life. I don't even think they might have it in this anymore. Yeah, this gun tried to kill me. It fell out of bed on top of me. I use this piece. This piece is actually a little known Lego piece. I believe it's a perfectly 45-degree angle. So if we take and we put this out like this, you can take and actually put this here, and then you have pieces that can come down off of this, just like so, at that angle. It's really, really cool. I really like the idea. Or you can have them going the other way, and it will create a different angle. It'll make that type of angle. Actually, I also used that piece in the Black Ops 3 Dingo light machine gun that I was working on and never finished. So, in case you guys are ever looking for another spot where I used it. Recruits all with ACOGs are going to be OP? Probably. I wouldn't think any differently. ACOGs were already, generally speaking, considered to be OP. You can put it back up there. It's probably really hot still. I'm going to try it raw.
Raw?
Yeah.
Is that how you just described it?
Yeah. Who's your favorite operator in Rainbow Six Siege? It depends. Depends on how good I'm doing. Tachanka is a fun operator to have, generally because of the memes. But the second you're not doing anything for the memes, Tachanka becomes pretty bad. It's not, necessarily the best. So there is a little bit of, it's like just here, but not really. But I will put it over here.
It's not sweet already.
In good faith. It's not sweet at all?
Mm.
I want to put a little honey in it.
Maybe a piece of chocolate. Oh,
It's possible. IQ is still pretty thick. I don't play IQ though. I don't, her guns are,
caviar.
she's not, you know, over the top good at all. She has frag grenade, she's 3 speed, but, you know.
I appreciate
Not the best.
As well as my Latin American operators for their thickness. Caviar. Is it in Caveira? Because I forgot it and I was literally thinking it was caviar. Is that right? Because I knew that was the closest thing I had.
What are you doing? I don't use Caveira though. Caveira in ranked play is almost useless. She's pretty low picked in ranked, surprisingly. Just comes down to other operators that are more useful.
The fan's not on.
Nope.
I'm not worried about it being an R2.
It got all over me.
Here.
Ah.
I sprayed mine.
Why?
Phil, did you get the sausage things?
Yes.
I wonder if that's safe. Yeah, I'm going to put blue in mine. Oh, we don't have green.
Yeah, shield nerf. I already dropped a couple, it's fine.
Okay.
Nope.
You still need me?
Maybe.
Only one of us was supposed to have to suck a dick. Well, it goes for it, I won't be too. At least I kept it kind of quiet. I don't think anyone heard me. Like, I'm a little mumble in the background. Maybe I'm in the background.
What the hell did you do?
Why'd you get mad?
Because I thought you just spilled that fucking tea all over my Xbox.
No, I just dropped the honey down.
Not okay, Yana.
Oh, shit.
You know don't put honey on top of the air vents.
You're so aggressive.
Ow. Do that. Stop.
You're so aggressive.
Stop hitting me.
You learn how to trick me out of it. The birds I choose harmless items to hit you with.
Harmless? Not harmless.
What would you rather me hit you with?
It's literally called a safety razor.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally called a safety razor. Don't touch me with it. The point stands though. It is called a safety. No.
I will save your arms.
Not
now.
good. That's not okay. Stop. Stop. Who is the thickest operator? Ash. That's not even a question, dude.
I don't think so.
No, she's thick.
She's thick, but I think Ella's the thickest.
Mm-mm.
And between Ella and Dokkaebi, to be honest.
What type of tea? Can you get the box, please?
It's Galil.
I show you, man.
Turkish tea you got from the market.
It's the stuff that I picked up from an ethnic market.
It's not an ethnic market.
Yeah, it is. Is this Galil tea? The same Galil as in as far as I thought. I thought it was the same manufacturer or the same gun as the Galil from Israel, but it's not. This is actually Turkish, as evident as.
It has a product of Turkey on it.
I gotta find it first.
You
Right there,
don't?
way down at the bottom, it says product of Turkey. So, yeah, it's just her pants. Like I said, ash is the thickest.
But when you take off
Ash is the
Ash's
thickest.
pants, if we're gonna be real, the thickest operator is probably Kavera.
No, Kaveri ain't thick.
Kavera is probably the thickest without all the armor on.
Nah, she ain't.
Why?
She don't
Because
even
she's
have armor on.
Brazilian. Exactly. And her thighs are still equal to all the other operators.
No, she ain't.
I bet Kavera is the thickest. She's Brazilian.
Nah.
That's my guess. I'd be between Kavera and Mira, but pure ethnicity purposes. Honestly, probably Dawkins.
No.
But Kavera probably.
She is not.
I didn't even think about the fact she has on no armor. How much armor does Ash have? What's her armor?
How much armor does Ash have?
What is
None.
Ash's armor?
She has one armor.
She has one armor?
She's the 3-speed.
And then Kavera has one armor?
Yeah, it's also a 3-speed.
Kavera is thicker than Ash.
No, she is not.
Yes, she
You
is.
can keep on believing that, but you're wrong.
I will find a picture. Because now this is pride. Kavera is thicker than Ash.
Like I said, you can keep on believing that, but you're wrong. Ash, Rule 34. Look it up. See what you get. Then type in Kavera Rule 34. Look it up and see what you get.
Just because the fan base wants to make Ash thick doesn't mean she is thick.
So look it up.
Oh god, I need to specify. I do not want to see whatever those are.
Yo, Wimpai. Welcome to one of the worst streams I've ever done. You're jumping into a fucking ticking time bomb here, man. Good luck. No,
Okay.
all Rainbow Six Siege fan art is great. I love a lot of it.
This is all fan art.
Exactly.
Purely by this picture.
Mm-hmm.
Kavera.
Boom! Connor, you right. Ash is thick.
Ash is thick, but Kavera is thicker.
No, she ain't thicker.
Yes, she is.
No, she ain't.
Yes, she is.
Nah.
Yes, she is.
Nope.
Yes, she is. Ash is probably better looking than Kavera. Because guess what? Kavera literally has nothing on her legs. You see that? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. And
Still
then
not
Ash,
thick.
you know what Ash has?
Thick. That's what Ash has.
She has stuff on her legs, and her legs are smaller than with the pockets they're not.
She ain't smaller than Kavera.
She
That's
is
all muscle
smaller
right
than-
there.
Yeah, so is Kavera's, and she probably knows how to actually pop it too.
No, she don't.
Yes, she does. She's Brazilian. It's a part of the culture.
Connor, you got my back. I got you, dog. You right.
Is Ash one of the most attractive operators? Yes,
You
but
see
she's
her elite
definitely
skin?
not the thickest.
No, she's the thickest.
She is definitely not the thickest.
She's the thickest.
No.
You just wrong. That's why you mad.
No, I'm not.
Mad,
I'm wrong
mad 'cause
because
bad.
you don't really know what thick is.
Mad 'cause bad.
Oh, I forgot about Valkyrie.
Oh, she's not thick.
Valkyrie's thick.
No, she's not thick.
She is.
No.
Just because they're not popular doesn't mean they're not thick. You're going off of who's the most popular operator, not who's the thickest.
You right, Connor. Get him, boy. Get him. Right, I'm ready for tea.
No, she has one.
Is mine the green one?
Yeah, she has one thick cargo.
Ooh, Legion cargo shorts. You right. Legion cargo shorts. They is a turn on. He got a nice ass.
Okay, Legion is
You right.
kinda, yeah.
Spoke some.
I think everyone can agree Legion somehow. And no matter what anybody says, Echo is hot. Bet. Kavera literally has on leggings.
How much honey did you put in?
None.
In this one? Okay.
Valkyrie does have one cargo pants. I'll give her that.
I got it.
Oh yeah, you have long arms.
I
wish they released their measurements.
think everyone can agree now that Legion most attractive. So end of
I
argument.
thought it was who's the thickest.
Nope. Most attractive.
When did you change it? Because you knew you
Just
were
now.
lazy? By pure definition, thick operators. Okay, if we're doing thickest operators, probably Castle. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Echo's hot either. She's literally the only person that thinks Echo's hot.
It's just because you can't see under the mask doesn't mean anything. It's in the brow.
See, she's the only person who thinks he's hot. Everybody's not.
See, now I'm gonna look through the Steam community and see what if they're all gonna say Ash too though. Lord Chachanka, never mind. Oh,
I can't even see any of Jaeger. It's kind of disappointing when you think about it.
IQ. Someone said IQ. IQ and Ella. I forgot about IQ. What's IQ look like?
She's one of the Russian, or I'm sorry, she's one of the
She's a
German.
German? Ooh, Germans are pretty thick.
She wears jeans.
So, that adds to it. You see her in purity. Oh, that's the person I was thinking was Valkyrie.
I can't believe you.
Hey, mixing everybody up. Come on. She's wearing jeans.
It is the Yokai Jones. Anyone with a technology turn on.
True. I have a thing for Mask too. Kakashi was my favorite in Naruto.
I've seen tons of people play Jaeger. Jaeger's one of the top picks in the entire game. His assault rifle damage on the defense side is just fantastic.
We just need to have one where all of them have on jeans so we can fairly compare this. Because now this is gonna bother me.
I think it's cool that they added some of the lore into the Outbreak event, because Jaeger in one of the missions picks up the capsule, the Russian capsule, and that's like cool because he's a pilot, right? Like it's great. I really like that.
It must be nice to feel supported by your community. You know, the people that created the game.
Must be nice to know that your opinion is wrong about who's the thickest.
I should know what thick is, Philip. This is my life. Do you know how many thighs I've looked at? Do you know how many thighs I felt?
Not enough,
More
apparently.
than you. Thick is in my community.
Is it though?
Yes, I'm black.
No, it's not.
Philip, I'm literally black.
Shoot wrong.
I'm not. See, your definition of thick and my definition of thick might be different.
Oh, they are. I know
For
for a fact
you,
they are.
a definition of thick might mean someone that makes you feel thick. But for me, a definition of thick is someone that has a great figure.
I've seen IQ's elite skin, and I'm not looking forward to it. The elite skins were super cool, but now I feel as if they're just getting into this like redonkulous place with them for no reason, to be honest.
This is gonna bother me. See, now I feel really uncomfortable.
Why?
Because you said I look thick, but then you think a lot of these really not thick people look thick. That means I'm not thick.
Okay.
I would like to.
Okay,
I got chicken legs.
cool.
Yeah, I don't want to smell their lemon from friends.
Yes?
Hmm?
Yes?
But would I let them crush me? Yeah.
No?
You really don't know what thick is, do you?
Nah, man, Kavera's not the thickest.
She's probably not the thickest.
Kavera hates shit.
Just because you don't like Kavera doesn't mean she's not the thickest. Again, you need to learn how to, like, separate your opinion from fact. Hmm?
It's subjective. Yana.
Well, no, it
Well,
can be
what?
factual.
No, it's subjective.
Do you know why it can be factual?
Why?
Because you can measure their thighs and see who's literally the thickest.
You-
Hmm.
Yeah.
Remember why women are oppressed.
Dude, Boogie's pretty thick. Let's not beat around the bush here. He's pretty thick. Actually, I really like Boogie. I think I stopped watching him. Just cause, to be honest, like I just fell out with his content.
Now I want them to send us measurements of their thighs. I want to know.
The last time I watched one of his things, it was about Anita Sarkeesian and him meeting at TwitchCon or wherever they met, and how like horrible it was. Because he literally sat there and was trying not to offend her the entire time, and then she still got fucking triggered for like no reason. Shit was rough to watch. Why did I do that? Used to be your studs on top.
Who's Spencer?
Guy?
Kavera is not flat. I think that's something everybody can agree on. We can argue with Kavera. Ash is thicker, but she's definitely not flat. Though there are two kinds of thicks. There's a width thick and then there's a booty thick. Which one are we talking about?
I don't fucking know, man.
Because Ash might have Kavera on the thighs. But then again, Kavera knows how to do that light step. And she's crouched down a lot. So she probably needs to have a lot of leg stuff to be able to be all light on her toes. But Kavera doesn't skip a leg day. None of them do. They need to release their measurements now for every operator. We need to know who's truly the thickest. Oh, that would be like so horrible. Imagine all the people that would get triggered if they did that. Most are doing squats.
That ain't no fucking squat.
Mhm.
What you were just doing is not no fucking squat.
I know it's not a squat. I'm not stupid. I agree with when you find out he's a she.
Ooh.
Wait, she's a he.
That's a good pun right there, Kat. Alright, Spencer. Proud of you for that one.
I am too.
Psh, don't listen to her. She's lying.
I appreciate puns more than you do.
She's lying.
Only one of us is a liar in this relationship.
She's still salty. Might as well whip out that Destiny emote.
I have more masterworks than you. Even if I got rid of them, I had more masterworks than you. We also have better luck at drops.
Shit.
I might not have the skill, but I have the luck.
You've gotten carried this whole Iron Banner.
Again, I say I might not have the skills, but I have the luck. Yep. I'm lucky that I have you as my
Ow!
partner.
Peace, man.
Okay.
Hey, 420. See, you say no joke, but I've already made the joke, so.
Oh, you're gonna some time with this. Oh no, I'm gonna miss it.
You missed it.
I don't care.
Wow.
What?
I can't believe you. I'm surprised YouTube chat even recognizes that.
It has emojis in it. Why didn't you tell me my oil spill?
It did?
No,
It did?
no. I don't even know what the thing is. Not you moved it.
The bottle's up there.
Yeah, it's
I didn't know that.
fine. I just found out when I looked at the thing and I was like, ooh, this paper's covered in saturated oil.
Can you dry it or something?
No, I just wait for it to absorb into the
I don't. Okay.
It's not like unhealthy for you. It's not like a bunch of synthetic oils. What do we do just now?
What is it? Oh, it's my. Great. That was my employee review. Think. It's 10:19. It ain't late. Talk about
We're
late.
talking about Connor.
Oh. Then yes. What? I'm sorry? No, I don't. I'm busy. I'm trying to finish this. Because I wasn't on a time crunch. It's like 10:20, and I know you gotta get your beauty strength, so like, shit, man. I'm implying that you need to sleep well. That's right. Trying to start shit with me, Yana. Shit it. Dude, I'd probably do like the Tide Pod challenge and drink bleach at the same time if I ever ended up in one of his own vlogs. I can't stand the Paul brothers at all. Part of it for the simple fact that they're annoying, and part of it for the simple fact that people actually feed into these people and make them even fucking richer. Blows my mind. A Lego set as old as I am, so one from 1997. I think I did.
Do you have one from 1996?
No, I don't think so. I think I had one of the fire station MOCs from those days. Not entirely sure though.
Oh, never mind. What's your favorite Lego?
What?
Usually one in the chat knows the story. I think one person knows the one. It's theirs sometimes. No, no. So, there's someone that's too.
Yeah, City, man.
I had this book the other day in third grade.
Is okay in certain situations.
It was really quick and like straight to the point.
Gotcha, man. I don't think that's possible.
I didn't realize it all was
Could you imagine having that conversation with one of your parents? How awkward that damn thing would be. furry? What is furry?
This is Fury, Philip.
Oh, Fury. I'm sorry. You're talking about the World War II movie. I actually have that on DVD. It's one of my favorite World War II movies that's ever been released. Both me and Kenyon have seen it. I forced her to watch it.
I enjoyed it.
It's a good movie.
Wait, is that the one I fell asleep doing?
No. Yeah, unfortunately. As of right now, the only thing that we're really watching on Netflix is Devilman. It's a really interesting show. There's a lot going on in that show.
He is a child.
He's fine.
Philip.
It's fine.
Dude.
I didn't even suggest it.
I know, but
I
you
just
said
said
it, and now
that's
he's
what
gonna
we're
look
watching.
At it. Now he's gonna look at it, dude.
So
That is not something. Do not watch that with your door open or unlocked. If you do watch it.
I've seen it 2 times as well. Ask Kenyana if she's willing to tell you. I don't care. I think the grip seems a little too skinny. I think that's the overall problem that I'm having with the way this looks. It's actually technically too tall. Like if you look at how this is, it's just, yeah. So what I'm going to do is actually pull all of this off. And just come in and add in a layer of orange. Hey man, it's not that's not like downside or anything. Like I don't believe anywhere in the rules that said you couldn't do that, as far as I know. Yeah. Because I need a piece of paper to write on. I'm running a contest on my channel right now for building Lego guns. So I'll hold video on it on my channel if you want to check it out.
You don't remember the new one, so you have to check it out.
Yeah. That, that's worse. Yeah, I'm thinking it's this right here. If I take all of this and push this all forward by a stud, I think that will fix that problem. I've kind of looked into like the possibility of a mobile LDD, and I don't think it's going to happen because it takes up a whole bunch of CPU space. Actually, like you'd be surprised how taxing this actually is on a PC. You can find the information for the contest on my channel underneath the contest video and or whatever I titled it. I think that's better. I think overall the proportions are now a lot better. Which vid? I don't know. Let's find out. Nope, you found it. Alright, well you beat me to it then. Congrats. Wow, stream is far behind. Cool. Oh wow, 17 seconds. That's a pretty long time. Yeah, that's a huge time difference.
Mine's less than 30 seconds. I would say. I guess I could use more time, but then I can't see the video. Could you phone?
No.
Please?
No.
Can you see iPod?
No.
Can I see one of your objects?
No.
Yes.
No.
Now.
Mine.
1,
Mine.
2,
No.
3.
You can't make me. So. You're not welcome.
How do you get your clock?
What isn't? Give me the phone. Oh, I'm sorry that a bird flew into your window. Okay.
It's better right here.
Don't forget to set.
Well, I'm glad it's alive.
Your wife's still, that's annoying. Birds bring bad things when they come in.
It hit the window, babe.
Then he should be fine.
I have no idea how many people have entered the contest. I'll be straight up honest with you. I haven't been keeping up with it entirely.
It's gonna take you forever to go through the video. But it's also gonna make sure you judge me.
That was really gross.
Use some tissue.
No.
That's wrong, I think. Let's see this picture. Do your hangouts still pop up on there?
No.
They don't?
No.
No. You lied to me.
I like how you looked over to make sure.
You did. But it does look like its neck is broken. Doesn't it? I don't know if anybody actually caught it.
Yes. Is the answer to your question, Connor.
What about Luke?
I was actually thinking about it because I really like the idea of weapons like pistols that have 4-stud wide grips but allow for 3-stud wide magazines, and that would be like the perfect gun to do that for, simply because of how the whole thing really works with like its magazine. The problem obviously being that it'd be really complicated to go through and do. I tried to do it with the 1911. That was, of course, a really bad gun to try to do that to, simply because of how complicated it really gets in the grip design, and I really wanted to keep a lot of the shaping, so that gun ended up being like a huge pain, but it worked, so should be good.
What are you judging it off of media?
I'm judging it off of Miri, yeah, to different things.
What is that? That's on the diary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most stuff I make uses the same exact dimensions. I really would like to do like more complicated stuff, and that's like that's the first step in doing like super complicated stuff. So. I just realized that it has to be open to let this basically turn. I'm glad that you have all the different transitions down. Transitions make for some really good models. Right, that should be enough to stop that from going any further forward than what I want it to. So. Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, we'll just flat trigger is fine.
Thinking about that.
I think it does. I think there's a section on the that goes to like aesthetic beauty, I think, and that would definitely be a way to get more points in that section. Try not to, man. Just try. Try as hard as you can. What am I doing? This piece has a flat piece now. Right here. See you later, Corey. Have fun eating. I have no idea what my next gun after this is going to be. Thankfully, not another pistol. That's for sure. Appreciate it. Thank you. Actually pretty happy with how this turned out. I usually really don't like building pistols. But this looks somewhat decent. And works. We can grab this and cock it back to expose the chamber. You can see all the way out to the bottom of the gun to the magazine release. And I think that's just Really cool feature. You can suggest whether or not I actually finish it. Is another story, because there is technically a suggestion list that I have, but I haven't done a gun for it in years, like literal years. I don't do Halo weapons, that's for sure. That's a definite no already. Thank you, I really appreciate it. I'm not used to doing guns. This was really complicated to put together, consider everything. But that's pretty much it, as far as I'm concerned. I'm gonna end stream and go render this in Pavre and everything, and that'll be it. So, see you guys later. Thanks so much for watching and sticking around for this now almost 3 hours long worth of Lego gun building. So, yeah, I will see you guys later in another live stream some other time.